The ultimate super soldier from Marvel taking on the ultimate super soldier from DC Comics. It's Captain America versus Deathstroke. In today, we're going to analyze their strengths and weaknesses, powers and abilities, fighting skill and weapons to settle this debate once and for all. Who's going to be winning here? Let's get into it. Born in the 1920s, Steve Rogers always felt a strong duty towards his country, the desire to help defend those who couldn't help themselves. However, Steve was just a scrawny, weak kid and wasn't even allowed to enlist in the army for World War II. However, because of his strong desire to serve, well, he was selected for the Super Soldier Project, being transformed into the pinnacle of human potential. Now known as Captain America, well, he led the charge against the Nazis and Hydra before being left frozen in the Arctic at the end of the war. However, Captain America was eventually revived in the modern day. Now he's the leader of the Avengers as they fight for truth, justice, and freedom. Being a super soldier, well, Captain America is obviously superhuman. There's been a little debate on just how strong Steve really is, whether he's superhuman or just the pinnacle of human potential, but regardless, he can bench press several tons as just a warm-up. He can easily tear through metal, he can throw around cars, and he's actually routinely holding up several tons of rubble, or just simply picking up heavy things. And all that strength is definitely evident when Steve throws a punch, or when he starts throwing his shield around. He's been able to hurt Spider-Man with his punches. He straight up knocked out bulletproof humans with a punch. He's even been able to damage Iron Man and tear apart his armor with his fist. And again, when Steve starts throwing around his shield, well, he's been able to destroy vehicles, bring down helicopters, destroy robots, or dismantle tanks. Captain America is ridiculously strong. Captain America is also ridiculously superhumanly tough. He's been smashed through walls and had buildings dropped on him, been just fine. He's taken punches from Namor and Spider-Man and Iron Man and even the Hulk and survived. He's been caught up in massive explosions, even at point-blank range, and not a scratch on him. Really just been more pissed off than anything else. The times when he's been shot or stabbed, well, sometimes Cap doesn't even notice until it's pointed out to him later. And with his shield, well, Cap is basically able to take planet-level attacks like it's nothing. Thor, Hulk, Hercules, Thanos, Ultron, all of them have tried to damage the shield and none of them have succeeded. It can block everything that comes its way. It's literally indestructible. It can even survive attacks from universal gods like Celestials. My man is tougher than tough. He's also faster than fast. Everything about him is superhuman, including his perception, which means that he's not just dodging bullets because of years of training and reflexes, but he's actually able to see the bullet coming his way and then simply move. He's that fast. He's one of the fastest street level heroes out there, routinely matching the speed of Daredevil, Iron Fist, or even Spider-Man. He's even able to get his shield to block bullets after they've been fired, block electricity, or even block light-based attacks. Basically, between Captain America's speed and his skill with that shield, well, it's dang near impossible for him to get hit, and you can be sure he's going to get his hits in. And it's not just enough that Captain America is the ultimate super soldier, the pinnacle of human potential. He's also one of the world's best fighters, a top 10 fighter in the Marvel Universe. He's got one of the best fighting minds on Earth, to the point where he can become an expert in any weapon within seconds and master a fighting form after just a few minutes. And so Cap has done just that. He's mastered every single martial arts known to man and didn't stop there, but started mastering different alien fighting styles throughout the universe. He's a one-man army in a fight, able to take down whole teams of supervillains all by himself, and has consistently matched up against some of the best fighters in Marvel, including Daredevil, Black Panther, Iron Fist, and Shang-Chi. Captain America is also the expert when it comes to his shield. He knows it better than he knows himself and is the perfect weapon for a soldier like Rogers. Whenever he throws it, it will always come back to him, regardless of physics or science. And it's the ultimate combination of offense and defense in any fight. Slade Wilson was an exceptional soldier for the US Army, was recruited to join Team 7, an elite task force designed to deal with superhuman threats. However, on one mission, Slade was critically injured, and in a desperate attempt to save his life, he was given an emergency procedure that turned him into a super soldier, giving him superhuman strength, durability, speed, and regeneration. With all this newfound power, Slade decided to become the world's greatest mercenary, Deathstroke the Terminator. Deathstroke is in a lot of ways DC's Captain America, just instead of the world's greatest soldier, he's the world's greatest assassin. But what I mean is that he's the ultimate super soldier, and he's incredibly strong. He's stronger than Batman, he's regularly able to overpower tons of people at once, and he can easily warp metal and throw around things that weigh up to several tons. Deathstroke is seriously strong, to the point where he's even been able to surprise and injure some serious superhumans. Like he's made both Lobo and the Chinese Superman bleed with his attacks. Now, take that with a grain of salt, it's definitely the extreme upper limits of Deathstroke's strength, but he's done it enough times where it's worth mentioning. He's also very, very fast and agile, easily able to dodge gunfire, dodge point-blank bullets, actually block bullets or cut them out of the air, or even sidestep and dodge bullets from some of the world's best marksmen, including Deadshot. And it doesn't just stop there. Deathstroke has actually made it fairly routine for him to be able to tag super speedsters, even members of the Flash family. He's basically impossible to hit, and he's for sure going to be able to hit you. Finally, Deathstroke is very, very tough, and he wears a Prometheum armor that only increases his durability. He's able to virtually ignore a lot of the attacks that come his way, even some seriously powerful attacks from some seriously powerful opponents. He's easily withstood gunfire and explosions or missiles. The man is nearly impossible to put down. And it doesn't hurt that he's got a nice healing factor too. He can heal from a lot of attacks, although not to the same extent as like Wolverine or Deadpool, and he's got otherworldly endurance, able to just keep on fighting and keep on going no matter what. Then lastly, well, Deathstroke is easily one of the best and most skilled fighters in all of DC. He's regularly proven that he's more than a match for the likes of Batman, Nightwing, Ra's al Ghul, Bronze Tiger, Green Arrow, some of the best fighters in DC. He's more than a match for whole superhero teams, regularly taking on the Teen Titans and even the Justice League before. And he's an incredibly lethal fighter who is more than willing to kill anyone who gets in his way. And that's only helped by all the incredible gear that he brings into fights. I mean, besides the typical weapons, guns, knives, explosives, he's also got his Prometheum sword, which is sharp enough to cut through metal and damage superhumans, or his titanium energy bow staff, which can blow up pretty much anything in its path and again, regularly hurt superhumans. End of the day, there's a reason why Deathstroke is the best there is, and why every superhero and supervillain either respects him or fears him. So, who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, there are 3 ways to break this fight down: physicality and their stats, their fighting skill and experience, and then their weapons. Now, when it comes to physicality, While there is a whole lot of debate surrounding whether or not Captain America was enhanced by the super soldier serum to superhuman levels or just peak human levels. Honestly, you can say the same for Deathstroke, as the same debate applies to him too. Now, Deathstroke has done some crazy strength things throughout the years. He's able to easily break steel and crumple metal, overpower multiple men at once, even throw around the vehicles. He's even managed to rip off an airplane door while in mid-flight, which would clock in at about 10 tons of pressure that Slade had to overcome. Plus, Slade himself has confirmed that he's stronger than peak humans like Batman. But for everything that Deathstroke is able to do, well, Captain America is able to do it too, like overpower multiple men at once, easily break steel and crumple metal, throw around vehicles. Cap has even managed to rip off an airplane door too. There really isn't anything that Deathstroke has done over the years that Captain America can't explicitly replicate. You can argue that Cap has done more, like supporting buildings, or even ripping open a tank with his bare hands. Now, there is an argument that Deathstroke can throw a harder punch than Captain America. After all, there have even been times where Slade has knocked around Superman before with his strikes, both the original and knockoff Superman. But whatever edge Slade might have with striking power, well, that's pretty much all negated by Cap's striking power with his shield. It can destroy almost anything in its path, and Cap has no problem throwing it with some pretty lethal force. Basically, strength between the two of them is pretty much dang near equal, to the point where Christopher Priest, who's written for both Deathstroke and Captain America, has said before that he writes them as equals. Both of these soldiers are also insanely fast, regularly faster than bullets, as both are able to casually block and dodge any bullet coming their way, even claiming to be able to see the bullets coming at them and just move out of the way. Both of them are able to do even more impressive things like dodging electricity or blocking and dodging around laser blasts, which, depending on how you want to scale it, could put their reflexes up to light speed levels. But twist my arm and I'll give the slight edge to Deathstroke. Slade has handled several different flashes several different times. He's done it enough times to where I'd say he's got better speed and reflexes than Cap. Because even if Captain America is tagging speedsters in Marvel, well, those speedsters aren't the Flash. On the flip side, with durability, well, it's kinda hard not to give Captain America the edge, because his shield is literally indestructible. Deathstroke can't damage it, and for as good as Slade is, well, it's debatable just how many attacks are gonna get past the shield, because Cap is just that good with the shield. If it's blocking attacks from Thor and even Celestials, it's blocking attacks from Deathstroke. But even take the shield away, and Captain America has been able to be smashed through buildings. He's casually jumped out of planes and been just fine. He's even taken an attack from a pissed off Namor and walked it off. Although that's probably the upper end of Cap's durability. And if you remove the shield from the equation, well, I think Deathstroke is probably tougher than Cap. Even outside of his armor, while Slade has taken punches from Power Girl and even Wonder Woman clean to the head, kept on going. And inside his Prometheum armor, not even talking about the world-class Icon armor, just his normal Prometheum suit, well, Deathstroke is pretty much completely bulletproof, to the point where he can just casually stand there and take a barrage of bullets and not even feel a thing. And it just goes up to the point where Deathstroke is taking attacks from the Chinese Superman and completely unfazed. managed to take an absolute beating from Batman while Batman was wearing power gauntlets that he had designed to fight against Superman. While Captain America has a slight healing factor too, Deathstroke's rapid healing is without a doubt better. He's regularly been able to take all sorts of insane attacks and heal from all of it, even coming back to life on a semi-regular basis. Basically, twist my arm and I'd say Deathstroke takes the physical stat edge over Cap. But it's so close that I have no problem calling them physical equals. So then what about their combat skill and ability? Well, Captain America isn't just the ultimate super soldier and the pinnacle of human potential, but he's also one of the world's best fighters, the top 10 fighter in the Marvel Universe. Thanks to the super soldier serum, Steve's got one of the best fighting minds on Earth, to the point where he can become an expert in any weapon within seconds and master a fighting form after just a few minutes. And so Cap has done just that. He's mastered every single martial arts known to man, and didn't just stop there, but started mastering different alien fighting styles throughout the universe. He's even been able to master a form of combat his first time using it, and perform better than masters who had spent decades practicing and perfecting it. And it's not just Cap's skill. It's a combination of his skill, his physicality, and his training. Steve's fought against Cash before, who had all martial arts knowledge in the world, had mastered every single fighting style, and Cap dominated because of his physicality. He's a one-man army in a fight. He's been able to take down whole teams of villains all by himself, and has consistently matched up against some of the best fighters in Marvel, including Daredevil, Black Panther, Iron Fist, and Shang-Chi. Basically, Captain America truly is one of the best fighters. But so is Deathstroke over in DC. Deathstroke is the ultimate living weapon, the best assassin and toughest mercenary in the world. While he might not have mastered every single martial art known to man, there's no doubt that Deathstroke is one of the most dangerous fighters on the planet. I mean, he's casually been able to take down the likes of Green Arrow, Nightwing, Robin, Azrael, and Bronze Tiger. Even regularly been able to match up against Batman and actually beat Bruce. And Cap is, at best, Batman's equal, although Batman is probably the way more skilled fighter. While Captain America might be one of the greatest tactical minds on the planet, Deathstroke's mind just works different. He's got access to his whole brain. He's one of the smartest men in all of DC. It's just pretty much all of his intellect is focused on fighting and killing. And it's that intellect that's allowed him to regularly outsmart Batman and take down whole superhero teams all by himself, like the Titans and even the Justice League. And then last but not least, well, their weapons. And for Captain America, it's obviously his shield. And Captain America is the expert when it comes to his shield. He knows it better than he knows himself. It's the perfect weapon for a soldier like Steve. Whenever he throws it, it will always come back to him, regardless of physics or science. And it's the ultimate combination of offense and defense in any fight. It's the best weapon here, and Steve can use it like no other. But while Cap has his shield, Deathstroke has a lot more versatility and range with his arsenal. I mean, besides the typical weapons, guns, knives, explosives, he's also got his Prometheum sword, which is sharp enough to cut through metal and damage superhumans, or his titanium energy bow staff, which can blow up pretty much anything in its path and again, regularly hurt superhumans. So, who's going to be the last one standing? Well, I think by the slightest of margins, Deathstroke is taking it. Neither one of them holds a definitive edge when it comes to physicality, so it comes down to skill and intellect and arsenal. And I think Deathstroke is the more lethal and efficient fighter and killer. He'll do anything to win and will use every trick in the book in order to come out on top. It's close, but Deathstroke should be the last one standing. Deathstroke wins.